Tombstone, Arizona Territory, June 18, 1885.
That's Holt Sergeant, all right.
I wonder where the rest of his gang is.
Looks like he's going to Bisbee to join him.
There's a lot of people out there, Clay. Somebody's liable to get hurt.
Well, Whaley boards the stage, ready to go. By that time, the crowd should have broken up.
Hello, Jet.
Hello, Pa.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Holt Sergeant and the new arrival left Tombstone in a hurry. Clay Hollister and Deputy Charlie Riggs were amazed to discover that one of the territory's most notorious outlaws was the father of a teenage son. The sheriff decided to follow Sergeant. This was the first chance to find his hideout, perhaps his gang. The trail led them through the fastness of the Mule Mountains to a cabin hidden by oak trees.
Makes sense bringing him up here.
I told you, his ma died.
Yeah, we might use him as a lookout. I can see he don't know nothing about guns.
I'll learn to shoot. And ride, too. I can take care of myself.
Inside, we get company. Come on. Behind the wall.
I told you not to meet that stage.
Come on out, Sergeant! Out of here! Don't get that boy hurt!
Give me your gun, Paul.
Get down on the floor.
Go on around back.
I'm gonna make a run for it. It's our only chance.
It's safer inside.
Not for me. Come on.
It's Newton Reno! They got away! Sergeant! Send that boy out! You don't want to get him hurt, do you?
Go ahead. Outside.
I want to stay with you, Paul.
You heard me. Outside.
Get out of the way!
killed my pa.
I had to.
He never did nothing to you, and you shot him down.
He was a wanted man.
He was a good man. He was my pa.
Easy, boy.
I'm gonna kill you someday, just like you killed him.
Stand up, boy. Why'd you come to Tombstone, Chet?
When Ma died, my pa sent for me.
Did you know that your father was an outlaw?
I read about him in the papers.
Yet you came here anyway.
Why not? He had more nerve than any man in Arizona. It said so in the papers.
There's a better use for courage, boy, than robbing, stealing, and murdering.
My pa wasn't afraid of nobody. And neither am I.
Afraid's no use, Sheriff. Looks like this boy's heading for trouble.
Need somebody to set him straight about things. If he isn't helped now, we'll have another gun hand in Tombstone. We got enough of those already.
But that's not your responsibility.
I don't want no help from him.
What do you suggest doing?
Get him a job first thing.
I think you're right. Work never hurt anybody, and sometimes it keeps them out of trouble.
I'm sorry, Hollister, but there's no use discussing it.
I sure wish you could see your way clear, Mr. Hart.
I can't take a chance. We keep a lot of money around. His father's friends are still on the loose.
Well, thanks anyway. Those the only things you're interested in, Jet?
I'm gonna have a gun.
Did you ever shoot one?
I'll learn.
Only thing is, it's my business to be particular who carries a gun in this town. Come on.
I could use another hand, all right, but taking on an outlaw's kid, I don't know.
Did you ever stop to think what had happened, Ed, if people held that against the kid all his life?
That ain't my responsibility.
That's everybody's responsibility.
Well, couldn't pay him much.
That's not important for now. Jet? Jet?
Mr. Hart, how much is that gun with the white grips?
Well, now, that's a mighty nice belt pistol. About $50. But I'm not selling you a gun, boy.
They got away with 2,000.
Could you identify him, Mr. Hart?
Jim Reno, Dude Kappa. They've been here before.
I took the Bisbee Road, Sheriff. Where'd you disappear to? Go on, get back to the livery stable. I got your job. Oh, Charlie.
Any luck, Clay?
Like the earth opened up and swallowed him.
I got telegrams off. Every peace officer in the territory's on the lookout.
Thanks, Charlie. I lost him when they left that Bisbee Road.
Mr. Hart died.
I want a 20-minute posse ready to go at daylight.
Clay, I think you should know what they're saying around town.
What are they saying around town?
Well, that the boy tipped off Reno and Capper and acted as lookout.
No.
He was there. Right in front of the store. Dozens of people saw him.
Jet was with me at Brady's livery stable. I got him a job and then he disappeared.
Where'd he go?
Charlie, I don't know, but he wasn't gone long enough to...
I warned you.
You warned me what?
Ought to have had my head examined. Let you talk me into hiring that boy.
What happened, Ed?
I'll tell you what happened. Jet Sergeant stole a gun and one of my best horses and lit out to join his friends.
A gun?
Had it by my cash drawer. What surprises me is he didn't take the money. Had over $100 in that drawer.
All right, Ed, I'm responsible for you hiring the kid. I'll make it up to you for the horse and the gun.
Everybody warned you, Hollister. Like father, like son.
All right.
Where you going, Clay?
He better be going to catch that young criminal.
I'm going to catch him before he becomes a criminal. There's still time.
June 20, 1885. Jet Sargent rode fast and hard to Canelo Canyon. Clay Hollister followed his trail with ease.
Nice looking gun. Let me have it. Belongs to Ed Brady, doesn't it? After you cock a single action piece, always put your thumb in front of the hammer and change hands. Now you press it firmly into your right hand. That's important because your grip determines your steadiness. Now all you got to worry about is the trigger squeeze. That's most important of all. You gotta squeeze them off nice and easy. Don't pull, you pull yourself right off the target.
You're being real helpful.
Main thing's practice. Takes time to learn to shoot good. A boy's kind of like a gun. Go off half-cocked, you can't hit the side of a barn.
I won't go off half-cocked. I'm going to practice till I can shoot just as good as you, Mr. Hollister. And maybe better.
Well, like I said, that takes time. You're not going to have much in jail for stealing.
Well, I'm going to be just like my pa.
End up the same way?
He was doing all right.
Outside the law. Getting things without working for him. Just like you got this gun. Come on. I got work to do.
We found the horses, Clay, but Reno and Capper gave us a slip up in Skeleton Canyon.
Put him in the livery stable. Where's Charlie?
He's still out with the boys.
Good. I got some business to take care of before I can ride out.
Your Honor, I'd like to get this over with so I can get back to my business.
Just hold your horses, Mr. Brady.
Now, if we can get down to cases...
Sit down, Ed. I'm conducting this hearing.
Yes, sir.
Judge Sargent, you'll stand up and face the court. Very serious charge has been lodged against you. Mr. Brady claims you robbed him of a gun and a valuable horse.
Worth at least $200.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask Ed a couple questions, if I may, please.
Go ahead.
Ed, as I understand it, you claim to have lost a gun and a horse, right?
You know I did.
But I returned them both to you.
Got nothing to do with it.
Your Honor, can anything be lost if it's been returned?
What kind of talk is that?
Well, I'd like to think that the boy just borrowed your horse and gun to practice with.
You know better than that.
You really feel that?
The other day you said this wasn't my responsibility. Now it is.
What do you mean?
Well, I got him the job, and that puts it up to me.
Judge Sergeant, do you know what this man has done for you?
I know all right.
I hope you do. I'm going to suspend sentence and put you on probation. If the sheriff has confidence in you, I suppose I should too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just one other thing. Ed, are you still going to keep that gun around the barn?
Not where anybody can find it.
June 21, 1885. Jed Sargent rode again to Canelo Canyon. He was driven by a fierce determination. July 1, 1885. After repeated practice, the youth developed a shooting eye. July 3, 1885.
Throw me all day with that horse. Come on.
Jet?
What do you want?
Reno's meeting me. We need horses.
Well, this is the sheriff's horse. He'll be coming for it soon.
Well, that's just about perfect.
What do you mean?
Well, me and Reno ain't exactly safe while that sheriff's still alive. He'd like to see us dangling at the end of a rope. Like to kill us. Like he done your pa. I reckon you don't hold it against him then. Him killing your pa.
You better go while you got the chance.
Or he might shoot us down like he done your pa. Or have you forgot about that?
Of course I haven't forgotten.
If it was me, I wouldn't never forget that. Till I paid him back. I'd want to see him dead, too, if he killed my pa.
How's Jet doing, Ed?
Oh. Well, I haven't missed anything.
Well, maybe he learned his lesson.
Drop it, Reno. Now come out reaching. Right there.
What's going on, Clay?
Keep this one here. His partner may be inside.
Sure.
Anybody been in here, Jet?
No.
I told you. I got nothing to say.
Were you going to meet Capper after you stole the horses?
Give up, lawman. I ain't squealing on a partner.
Beat it out of him, Hollister.
Why don't you go back to your livery stable, Ed?
Supposing Duke Capper shows up.
I hope he does. Charlie Riggs is on guard.
He's not after you, deputy. He's going to get you.
Maybe.
You better be careful, Hollister. As long as you're alive, he knows there's a noose waiting for him.
That's right. Come on, boy, let's lock you up.
All you gotta do is act natural. Comes in for his horse, I let him have it. You're with me, aren't you, kid? I guess your pa didn't mean nothing to you. He was a fine man, I know. I rode with him. There wasn't any man I ever respected more. I guess he don't mean much to you, or you'd want to see his murderer killed off. Just like he killed your pa. I'm offering to do it for you, kid. All you gotta do is bring him close to me. I'll shoot him in the back.
Let me handle this. I'll do it myself.
You don't even have a gun.
I know what I'm doing.
Nobody's been around here, Clay.
Well, he's got to be around here someplace. Reno wouldn't have come in alone. Look, you go back to the office. I'm going to ride the town limits.
Right.
Hello, Jet. Got the horse ready?
You don't need your horse, Mr. Hollister.
Where'd you get the gun?
I found out where he hid it.
Give it to me.
Not this time.
You don't know what you're doing, kid.
Yes, I do.
I don't want to have to draw on you, kid.
This is my show.
Thanks, Jet.
You helped me.
Well, they convicted Reno. Not that we're surprised.
He had it coming.
Why, you all duded up.
Yeah. Even shaved.
You going someplace?
Tucson on business.
Oh, you're gonna lock up the stable.
No need. Got an able hand.
Mr. Sergeant. How about taking care of my horse?
Yes, sir.
Come on, Ed. I'll walk you over to the depot.
Good.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, January 16, 1882. Neil Wheaton, one of Clay Hollister's new deputies. Wheaton liked guns. They were his weakness.
Get it fixed?
Nothing to it. I ain't been stuck. Man should look after the tools of his trade. Could save his life.
Or get him killed. You going to the funeral?
Them things depress me.
I think you ought to go.
You being there ought to be enough.
Ordinarily it would be, but this time is different.
What's so different about it, Clay?
You killed the man.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
January 17, 1882. Another man had been buried on Boot Hill, killed in the line of duty by Neil Wheaton.
Satisfied?
With a new gun, you have to be careful. Got to be checked out.
You do that at the factory.
Well, they claim they do, but I heard of a fellow once, had him a new 6-gun. First time he went to fire it, barrel was clogged and blew up in his hand. Nothing like that's going to happen to me.
Oh, I don't imagine it will. I'm wanting to talk to you.
Got a suspicion he wasn't hanging around for nothing.
Look, I'll lay it right on the line. You go too fast for your gun.
I do my job.
Maybe you do it too well.
You're talking loco, Clay.
3 weeks ago, I hired you because I needed another deputy. I hoped you'd make the grade.
And?
And ever since then, you've been in one shooting scrape after another.
Wasn't any of it my doing. They all drew on me first.
It's a peace officer's job to hold down trouble, not bring it on.
Are you saying I'm fired, Clay?
I'll just call it a warning. You're first and last.
January 18, 1882.
The Oriental Saloon.
Let's go.
Look, nobody's gonna tell me when to leave.
I'll handle it. All right, mister. Fun's over. Put up your gun.
Keep out of this. This ain't none of your affair.
I don't want any trouble. If you're smart, you won't either. Do like I say. Come on. Holster your gun. We'll forget all about it.
All right. But tell your deputy over there to put away his.
Is he?
He's gonna be all right. There wasn't any reason for gunplay, Neil.
Anytime a man points a gun at me, you better use it. Real quick.
You know there wasn't any danger as well as I do.
Wood Hill's full of men who thought that way. I don't believe in being careless. Getting hungry, I'm gonna put on the feed bag. If you've had your say.
Not quite. Give me your badge. You're not right for a lawman, Neil. Your gun hand moves too quick. By the time your thinking catches up, it's too late. But Neil, remember this. This town is full of quick guns. There's always somebody just a little bit faster than you are.
Not in Tombstone, there ain't.
Hello, Neil. I see you lost your badge.
Yeah, permanently. Sheriff thinks I'm too fast with my protection.
Have one on the house.
No, thanks. Makes a man careless. I like to be able to tell my friends from my enemies.
Got any plans as to what you're going to do now?
Mm-hmm. Thought maybe I'd come to work for you.
Doing what?
Thing I do best. Got a nice place here, Richie. Nicest in town. Could be better with protection.
And we've got Hollister and all the other deputies.
Sure you have, but they can't be everywhere at once. If you had your own gun on the premises, it could save you a lot of headaches.
Sounds like a good proposition. With your reputation, you might hold down trouble. I'll think it over.
Has to be now. The Crystal Palace has already made me an offer.
All right, Neil. But remember, your job is to hold down trouble. I don't want any customers shot.
Oh, of course not. You're a good businessman.
When you want to come to work?
Maybe you didn't know it. But I was on the job when I walked in.
Oh, Harris.
Hello, Clay.
Ready for some dinner?
Oh, I can't right now, Clay. Say, here, you fired Neil Wheaton.
Come on, that's yesterday's news. You ought to read the epitaph.
The most interesting item isn't in there. I didn't get the information till after we'd gone to press. Your ex-deputy has a new job. House gun at the Oriental.
I thought Richie had better sense than that.
I can see the future headlines now. Violence flares at the Oriental. Neil Wheaton, former deputy, was forced to shoot.
All right, all right. I know how it'll read.
Nothing to do about it, I suppose.
No. Just wait and hope. No dinner, huh?
January 25, 1882. Neil Wheaton had been on his new job a week. Evening, Hollister.
How's it going, Richie?
Quieter than a sleeping hound. Been that way ever since word got out about Neil.
He had to do anything to earn his pay yet?
Business is good. Trouble staying away from my door.
So far.
January 27, 1882. Friday night. The traditional night for the big ranchers to come to Tombstone.
It's too cool a night to be sweating, Richie.
It's been a bad night for my housemen.
Thought someone must be breathing hot on your pocketbook.
Three Kings. Every time Matt McCord comes to town, he takes me for a bundle. He's already clipped the house for $9,000. Oh, he wants more money. I better get it out of the safe.
You want me to hex McCord?
Yeah, you do that. Be worth a lot to me, an awful lot.
I'll raise 200.
Keep your hands above the table, McCord.
You calling me a cheat?
I'm not calling you anything, just a warning.
Let's play cards.
I pass.
I call. 3 ladies. Beats 3 jacks.
That's all, gentlemen. This game's called for tonight.
Something new, Adam Whedon?
Just decided to put it into effect. Do you mind?
Suits me. I can find plenty of places to gamble.
Not if you win the way you did here.
I'm not looking for a fight, Wheaton, but I'm not backing down from one either.
Then we understand each other.
I don't think I know what you mean. Leave it. Now look!
Just leave your winnings on the table. These men ought to have their money back, and so should the house. McCord won too much and too often, to be honest. If he hadn't been a cheat, he wouldn't have drawn.
Have you gone completely loco? Why'd you want to do a thing like that?
You wanted the game broken up. It was your idea.
Didn't say anything about gunning, McCord.
You said to hex him.
You were fired, Neil, as of right now.
You said it'd be worth a lot to you. You owe me $500 and a raise in salary, and I'm sure you're a man who pays his honest debts.
That's blackmail.
Let's say it's good business, huh? Water. Hello, Clay. Glad you got here. I just had to shoot Matt McCord in self-defense.
January 27, 1882. Later that evening, Clay Hollister investigated the killing of popular rancher Matt McCord.
What's your version?
Well, after Neil accused him, Matt reached for his gun and
I defended myself.
You keep out of this.
What are you getting all worked up over, Clay? It ain't as if I gunned him down without a chance.
McCord wasn't any hand with a gun.
Man wants to act like a fool. Ain't my lookout.
From what I hear, you didn't give him any choice. Did you see it?
I don't know about the cheating part, but I heard McCord went for his gun first. Sorry this happened, Hollister. Hiring Neil seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, I can't blame you much. I made the same mistake myself. Thing to do is what I did. Fire him.
Well, maybe it won't happen again. I'll give him one more chance.
Sure it'll happen again. Another legal murder for Neil Wheaton.
He's got you real scared, hasn't he, Richie?
Of course he hasn't. If I want to get rid of Neil, I'd do it. Now let's have one on the house and forget all about it.
No, thanks. I had enough for tonight, and from now on.
Better luck next time, Clay.
You got a bad case of gun fever, Neil. Only cure I know for it's a bullet.
Want to try me?
Only if I have to. Like I said before, it's a peace officer's job to keep down trouble, not bring it on.
Just as you say. Anytime you're ready, say the word. Now that we've settled that, have a seat. We'll play some showdown.
You got more important things to do.
Such as?
There's a nice straight road out of town. Use it.
The only way I'm leaving is feet first.
If that's the way you want it, that's the way it'll be.
Go ahead, I'll give you the jump.
No, I don't want to kill you. Just do like I say.
You're fast, but not that fast. What are you waiting for? Go on.
Won't ask you again. Next time I'll...
There won't be any next time, and you know it.
Some said Clay Hollister had walked away rather than face Neil Wheaton's gun. In Tombstone, that wasn't the popular thing to do. Hello, Clay.
Yes?
You know George Pickett and Walter Henry.
Take a seat.
This isn't a social call, Hollister.
Matt McCord was a friend of ours. We want to know what you're going to do about his killing.
I've already served notice on Neil to leave town.
Doesn't seem to have registered too strong. He's still around.
Still working for Richie, too.
We don't want to pressure you, Hollister. But if you don't do something about Wheaton, we will.
Like what, for instance?
Matt McCord had a lot of friends in this part of the country. They're mighty stirred up.
I see. Anything else?
Guess that's about all we have to say.
We mean it.
As you can see, people are stirred up.
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing about people. They love to see a fight, but they're so sad when somebody gets killed.
Well, that's human nature. You've got a reputation to uphold, Clay. If you don't act soon, you might have to leave town yourself. I wouldn't like to see that.
Well, what do you want me to do? Pick a fight and force a shootout? Well, I'm a peace officer, not a hired gun. I didn't mean to shout at you.
If it helps, go ahead.
Well, it helps, but it doesn't change the situation. I think I'll take a walk.
Any place in particular?
Have a talk with Neil. Where is he, Richie?
If you mean Neil, he took the day off.
Where did he go?
If he never comes back, I won't miss him.
Why haven't you fired him yet?
I can't.
You mean you're afraid to?
What difference does it make? He's got his hands around my throat, and I can't pry him loose.
Maybe I can do it for you.
Neil's got you buffaloed, too. Otherwise, you'd have taken care of him
All
by
right,
now.
Richie. Just what is it between the two of you?
Neil's blackmailing me for the McCord killing. Says I told him to do it, and I'd pay for the service.
Well, you should have told me that before.
I know it. I didn't think it'd do any good.
You thought wrong.
Just a minute. Get me out of this, Hollister, and it's worth $1,000 to you.
You never learn, do you, Richie?
What do you mean?
You can't buy everything. This is my job.
That's what people have been saying.
You tell Neil that I'm looking for him.
Storm coming up? Yeah. The afternoon of January 29. It was to be a day of decision.
Mr. Wallace? Harris?
Care for some?
No, thank you.
Helps me to get through a long afternoon.
Have you seen Neil?
Earlier? One thing I don't understand, Clay. How come you haven't clamped down on him?
Well, I'm tired of settling every argument with a gun.
We're living in a lawless time, Clay. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes violence to stop violence. You're the only law we have here. People expect you to meet the issue head on.
Meet it head on. Well, what does that mean? Shoot it out with Neil? Well, there's got to be another way because legally Neil hasn't broken the law yet. Sometimes it feels like the only answer to every problem in Tombstone's a bullet. I was hoping it'd be different. I was hoping...
Talk to me, Clay.
I do.
I've been hoping you'd make this mistake.
I'm waiting.
It's my pleasure.
Careful. There might be mud in that barrel. Could be clogged, blow up. Like with the fella you were telling me about. What's the matter, boy? Don't you like the odds? Well, they didn't favor McCord either, but he took the chance. You say you've been waiting for this. Go ahead.
I want to check my gun.
That'd be a mistake. You make one move for your gun, I go for mine.
You're pushing me to an unfair fight.
I'm pushing you to leave Tombstone, boy.
I said the only way I'd leave was feet first.
That's what you said.
Chances are there isn't any mud in the barrel.
Then the chances are it won't blow up in your hand. Now go for your gun or move out. Works. Want to use it? You're a lucky man, Neil. I'm giving you a chance to live. Take it. Out of town.
Thought this might interest you. Editor of the El Paso paper sent it to me.
Oh? Neil Wheaton killed by Madden Roberts. Another victim was added to Madden Roberts' growing list when today he shot and killed. I kind of thought Neil would be headed back this way sometime. I guess now he won't be. Always somebody just a little bit faster.
Fella here says he'd like a crack at that deputy's job we got open, Clay. Wants to be a lawman.
Well, I'll be glad to.
We got business. Need some help?
No, we can handle it.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
the outskirts of Tombstone, Arizona Territory. The West has been a haven for all kinds of people, the misfits, the wanderers, and the nonconformists. Some burned with a unique faith that they moved under the special favor of the Creator, and that he would provide them with their haven of plenty.
Tabitha. Oh.
What's the matter? What happened?
Don't tell Elias, Simon. Please, Sister Mary, don't tell him. He'll be displeased with me.
But he should know.
Sister, the baby. It's near your time. Not yet. Not yet.
Tabitha.
I'll be fine, Elias. I'll be fine. But she just took a spell from the heat.
We've reached the end of our journey. This place shall be our land of plenty.
The Lord be praised.
Yes, let us thank him for leading us through the wilderness, for helping us to persevere where others have failed. Let us pray.
But what about Ben? He went after the sheep and he hasn't come back yet.
Your brother can pray his thanks when he comes. We will pray ours now. Oh, Lord, we thank you.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
May 10, 1881. The newcomers received their welcome to the West.
This yours?
Ben.
Yes, he's Ben Ashdown with our party. Who are you, sir?
Clear out, mister. You and your whole ragtag bobtail outfit. Clear off this land. And keep out of Tombstone, understand?
Who are you?
The name's Lige Crown. My ranch is up yonder, and you ain't my choice for neighbors. Is that enough?
Lige for Elijah. Surely, Mr. Crown.
Listen, we've had your kind around here before. With all your strange ways, full of pious spoutings, wearing them clothes and setting example for our young'uns. We know all about you.
You've never seen us before. This is the farthest west any of our people have ever come.
Yes, and you're going farther. Today.
We don't believe in violence. But we won't leave. The land is here for all. We ask only the right to live and work in peace on a small portion of it.
If you're not going by tomorrow, you'll get a small portion. 6 feet long and 6 feet deep. Come on!
May 11, 1881. Street fighting was not unusual in Tombstone, but when youngsters were involved, it was time to intervene.
Give him a good one. Get him, boy. Get in there.
All right, that's enough. Stop it. You should feel proud of yourselves. 3 against 1. Now go on home.
Let him finish it up, Harris. Might be one way to get rid of him and his friends.
Sure, we sure don't want him around here.
He did fine, boys, fine.
We'll see Sheriff about this. Come along?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Clyburn. Harris Clyburn.
My name's Ben Ashdown, sir.
I'm glad to know you, Ben. You're from that new camp outside of town.
Yes, sir. Looking for a job in town. Doesn't much look like I'll get one, does it?
What can you do?
Work hard and learn.
Well, maybe I can find you something here at the Epitaph.
Oh, I can read and write.
Well, good.
$2 a week. You start at 8 in the morning.
I'll be here, Mr. Clyburn. Mr. Clyburn, sir?
Yes, Ben.
Are you a godly man?
Well, now that you mention it, I think I am, in my own way.
Well, that's good. If you weren't, Elder Ransom wouldn't let me take the job.
Oh, Harris? This the boy that started that street brawl?
Well, that isn't exactly the way it was, Clay. 3 of the town boys attacked Ben here. I guess I interrupted their pleasure.
You from that camp outside of town, huh?
Yes, sir.
You people planning on staying?
Why, I reckon so, sir. Elder Ransom says this is the place the Lord picked for us to settle down.
Oh, he did.
Oh, what's it all about, Clay? Why all the excitement over 4 boys scuffling in the street?
Well, there's more to it than that, Harris. I've been asked to get these people out of Tombstone.
Ben, why don't you go in the back room for a few minutes and look around? You know, kind of get acquainted with the place. He goes to work for me tomorrow morning.
Harris, those people have to go. It's for their own protection.
You letting the town crackpots put a burr under your saddle?
Oh, you know me better than that. Just they don't belong. They'll be the cause of trouble, violence. They're
different?
Of course they are.
Look, for my part, they can stay as long as they want to. I'm just trying to keep them from getting hurt and keep the town out of trouble.
They dress differently, they act differently, maybe they worship God a little differently. And every ignorant hammerhead in Tombstone hates them for it. May 12, a rainy afternoon in Tombstone. There were other storm clouds gathering that day.
Yes?
I told you to get out.
Yeah, you tell him, Lige.
Why don't he fight back? Yeah, well, don't you fight if you want to stay so bad.
Elias, don't.
We don't use violence.
We got our town just the way we like it. We don't want your kind here.
That's Elder Ransom.
We'll make a place for ourselves.
Leave him alone.
Ben! Crowd!
If you're looking for somebody who'll fight back, try me.
You gonna throw me in jail now, Sheriff?
You know how people feel. Why do you come into town?
We came to find a doctor for my wife.
I'm sorry. The doctor's riding circuit, visiting the ranches. He won't be back for a couple of days.
Thank you for your help. However, it wasn't necessary.
Oh, you come in here so chock full of good intentions.
You think that's enough to keep you from getting near killed?
The Lord watches over us.
Well, in other places, maybe. But when they wrote about a place where angels feared to walk, they meant Tombstone. Now you better find yourself another place.
I think not.
Sheriff?
Yeah?
You're the boss here in Tombstone.
If need be.
Out around my place, it's different. You come out sometime and see.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ransom, for the whole town.
The Lord tests us all in many ways. I'm proud of Elias. He once was a man of terrible violence.
That's right, sir. Was a time when I'd have broken that man like a twig.
The night of May 12th.
Well?
We want to talk to you, Hollister.
About Elder Ransom.
They gotta go, Sheriff. We don't want them in Tombstone.
They're not in Tombstone.
5 miles away, it's the same thing. I mean, they walk around with their funny clothes and their preachy ways, and the first thing you know it, their young'uns are with our young'uns, and we got to answer a lot of questions.
They come into my store, and my good customers won't come in no more.
Why not?
Because they... Well, I don't know. Because they won't, that's why.
If you've got something they want to buy, they'll come in no matter who else is there.
Now, don't try any of your fancy talk, Harris, because it won't do no good.
These people ain't our kind. They don't belong here.
Well, what do you gentlemen suggest that I do?
Root them out of here, that's what.
And you do something about it before somebody else does.
Now, you listen to me before you get into real trouble. I'll handle this the way I see fit. And if you people try to do it your way, you'll all end up back there in the lockup with your wives feeding you soup through the bars. That clear?
Just root them out of here, Hollister.
Well, you heard it. If I let those people stay, there's going to be bloodshed. I can't have that.
Clay Ransom and his party are in this county, and their rights are in jeopardy. You're sheriff of this county and committed by oath to protect those rights.
And you know what they say? They say the Lord told him to settle here. And if they stay here, you know what'll happen? There'll be more of them coming here. And how'd you like your kids marrying up with them? What'd Hollister say when you talked to him?
Well, he said we dasn't.
Did he say what he was gonna do?
No, not exactly.
If the sheriff don't protect the citizens, then what?
And the citizens gotta protect themselves.
You're right. Yeah. Somebody go heat up the tar bucket.
Well, that woman's gonna have a baby right quick.
Then let her have it on the trail. That's where I was born, and it didn't hurt me none. Come on. Let's get her.
Lige Crown was a determined man, and a dangerous one.
They won't listen to me. I've got to go out to that camp.
And chase him down the trail.
No, the time for talking's done, Harris. If I let them stay and somebody gets killed, practically the whole town is going to be up on a murder charge.
All right, wait for me. I'll go with you.
Hold it. Easy, boy.
Gotta get the doctor.
What's the trouble? He's still away.
The baby. Mrs. Ransom's having the baby.
Oh, come on.
May 12, 1882.
Hold it. Come on, this way's quicker.
Is Elder Ransom there?
No, he's looking for the doctor.
Come on.
When we arrived at the camp of Elias Ransom and his people, it was evident the time was near.
Do you know anything about I mean, have you ever done... Can you help?
I'm Brother Simon Webb. I helped birth both my boys back in Ohio. I can help.
Good. Just tell Miss Ashdown what you need. She'll help you.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't you worry, Mrs. Ransom. Everything's going to be just fine.
Where's Elias?
He's gone for the doctor. But I'm afraid we can't wait.
I'm not afraid.
Good.
A bucket of hot tar was steaming on the bar of the Oriental. All Lige Crown was waiting for was the rail.
Looks like I'm out.
Hey!
Here he is.
Yeah, here's what we've been waiting for. We'll give Ransom a nice long ride on that. All right, men, drink up. The drinks are on me.
How do you like that? Didn't cost him a nickel, and he's complaining about the service.
He's kind of small, isn't he, Harris?
They come that way.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I was expecting this one to be different. Something special.
He's sure special, all right. Born into trouble. Didn't have a thing to say about it. Clay Hollister's deputy, Lee Yeagley, watched Crown's men pile out of the Oriental.
All right, boys, we'll see you.
He rode hard for the camp.
Town's eating up fast, Clay. Looks like it's going to blow.
Well, how soon do you figure they'll get
They
here?
should be here soon. They were pouring out of the Oriental when I left.
Harris, I gotta get him out of here.
How?
Well, not down the trail, if that's what you mean. I just gotta get him to move the campsite a little bit until I can get those yahoos simmered down.
Clay, you won't be able to move them even at gunpoint.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Or maybe I can move Crown and those others. Maybe.
Unable to find the doctor, Elder Ransom arrived with two townswomen who had volunteered to help.
Mother and son are doing fine.
Mother? Elder, you've got to move your camp. There's a mob headed this way from town.
I'm going to see my son.
Look, you don't understand this country. It's rough. The people in it are rough. The way they handle their problems is crude, but it's very effective. And right now, you represent a problem to them. If you're still here when they get here, it'd be a bad thing to see. Not even your son will be spared.
No, Sheriff. We've been chased and hounded halfway across the country. Why? All we want is to make a place for ourselves, a place to live and work. No, sir, the time for running is past. The Lord has ordained this as our home. My son has been born here. This is where we will stay.
Isn't he beautiful? Oh, Mrs. Ransom, he's a beautiful baby.
Thank you.
Strong, too. Just listen to him holler. This is no place for a man.
I got an idea.
We stayed through the night. Clay Hollister had talked with the townswomen. If his plan didn't work, we were prepared for the worst. The morning of May 13, 1882.
They put up a fight. You know what to do.
Miss Woolsey, you get out of here.
I suppose you'll shoot me if I don't, Lige Crown. Well, I'm not going to. Not gonna budge.
Hannah?
Don't you Hannah me, Henry Woolsey. I'd like to know what you think you're doing riding around the hills all night yelling like a wild Indian.
Oh, we're gonna get rid of these folks. Drive them out of Tombstone.
They don't belong here, Mrs. Woolsey.
Like to know why not? I'd be proud to have them as my neighbors. I suppose you think 'cause they ain't exactly like us, we gotta treat them like heathens.
Well, let them go someplace else. Why'd they have to stop here?
I remind you, John Harker, we all had our reasons for coming west, and none of us come from the same place. And we all learned to live together.
They ain't our kind of folks.
Well, there ain't nothing so special about you, Lige Crown. You ain't greedy, not much. You just want all the land that's next to yours. Well, these folks won't take up much room, and I say they're welcome to it.
You ain't gonna let a couple of women stop you. Come on!
John! What's in that pail?
Tar, huh? You want to put tar and feathers on somebody. Here, start with him. He's liable to do something terrible if you leave him be.
How do you like it, Lige? Being on the outside.
Don't be afraid of us, Mr. Crown. We're good neighbors.
Boy, what a night.
Not a shot fired. I'm proud of you.
All right, Harris, go ahead and say it.
Nothing left to say. Mrs. Woolsey said it all.
Boy, if she ever runs for sheriff, I quit.
Good night, Clay.
Good night, Harris.
Rather, I should say good morning. Clay, before that baby is much older, the rule of the gun in this territory will end. I think you'll be just as valuable to have around then as now.
Thanks.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, the morning of June 19, 1882. A day that started out about as quiet as any.
Did I understand you right? Did you say you ain't going to Durango with the rest of us? Was that what you said?
I said I don't have no score to settle in Durango.
Sure you do. We're gonna kill Doc Holliday in Durango.
It ain't that easy.
Why not? There's 5 of us.
Doc Holliday's the fastest gun there is. Ain't got any reason to mix with him.
Well, I do.
Well, you mix with him then. I'm out.
Mace!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
The afternoon of June 20, 1882.
Lee? Oh, hello, Harris.
Lee told me I'd find you here.
All right, you found me.
There's one mistake no man's supposed to make, least of all a sheriff.
What's that?
Getting caught in a crossfire. I'm talking about you going up to Durango after that Texan. What's his name?
Ed Mace.
Well, that's the crossfire. Him and Doc Holliday facing it out sooner or later. You in between.
Try to duck.
It's no joke, Clay. You're risking your life for nothing. Doc Holliday is going to get Mace. You know that. I could print the story today. Doc Holliday shoots down man who killed Tombstone deputy.
Well, Harris, I prefer Tombstone jury says man who shot deputy to hang.
You'll never read it. Holliday's going to get him.
Not if I can help it.
Well, that's just the point. You can't help it. But you can get yourself killed in the trying. Is it worth it?
Look, Harris, Will Hutch is dead. He was shot down by a cheap Texas gunman who's on his way to Durango. What do you want me to do? Sit around and wish that he were here so I could arrest him?
You couldn't arrest him if you were there. Durango's not in your jurisdiction.
I couldn't arrest him as a sheriff, but I can as a deputy marshal. I was sworn in an hour ago. You know the real reason I'm going. Will Hutch wasn't just a good deputy, he was a good friend.
Here's your bacon, Sheriff.
Oh, thanks. I'll see you, Harris.
Where's the sheriff heading, Mr. Clyburn?
Into a crossfire. It was a long ride across the Mogollon Rim to Colorado. June 23, 1882, Durango. Mace and his men arrived well ahead of Clay Hollister.
Howdy.
My horse needs a shoe.
I'll be finished here in a couple of shakes.
Don't hurry.
You a stranger in town?
That's right.
Fixing to stay on?
I might.
I'm looking for an old friend of mine. I heard he was up this way.
Yeah? What's his name?
Doc Holliday.
I didn't know Doc had any friends. Oh, no offense.
Know where I might find him?
I hear Doc's been at the Royal Flush Saloon every night this week. Running real lucky. You a poker player, mister?
Now and again.
And I hear Doc's real tough to beat. A man can't bluff him.
Man might not have to. To get out drawing.
You talking about cards or guns, mister?
Just talking.
Be with you in a minute.
He'll be at the Royal Flush Saloon tonight. Tell the boys to keep apart and stay out of trouble.
Later that afternoon, Sheriff Clay Hollister approached Durango and headed straight to the marshal's office.
Of course, there's no telling when he's going to go for Doc Holliday or where. He might have been just talking big, you know, about coming up to Durango in the first place.
No, I don't think so. He killed one of his own men just because he wouldn't come along.
Well, killing a man is one thing, Sheriff. Going up against Doc Holliday is quite another.
I still think he'll try it. I better stay as close to Holliday as I can.
Holliday won't like that.
I'll try to keep him from finding out.
Suppose you do. Let's say you find Ed Mace like you planned. Didn't you say he has help?
3 men.
Figure on taking them all on?
No, I figure on getting help.
Here. All right, Hollister. I'll do what I can.
Thanks. You know where Holliday is now?
Nope. But I know where he's going to be tonight. The Royal Flush Saloon.
I call you, mister, and raise you $100.
I think you're running one, Doc.
Beats me.
Pair of 5s. Mister.
What's the matter?
When a gentleman leaves the company of other gentlemen, he usually excuses himself.
No offense, Doc. Excuse me, gentlemen.
That's better.
Deal. Need a new player, gentlemen?
Why not? That's what we're here for.
Mace is the name. I'm Farrell. This is Henderson. Maxwell. I guess you know this is Doc Holliday.
Howdy. Run them. Run them, run them.
Jacks are better.
It's up to you, Mr.
Mace. It's a common name down around Dallas.
I was in Dallas about a month ago.
I know. I'll bet $50.
I'll play.
Did we meet before, Mr. Mace?
It's up to you, Doc.
Call.
I pass. Cards?
3.
Next 3.
3.
free.
Hello. All alone?
$3.10. The newcomer's good for my luck. Run him. Whiskey.
Right away, Doc.
Told you to keep an extra bottle at the table at all times, didn't I?
Sorry, Doc.
Expect me to drink out of this? It's filthy. You didn't think that was very funny.
Not very.
I don't like people who disagree with me, Mr.
Mace. Ed Mace. Brother of Arnold Mace.
Who's Arnold Mace?
The man you killed in Dallas a month ago.
Is that why you're here?
That's why we're here.
There are a couple other people here, Mace.
Stay out of this. No interruptions.
Everybody stand still.
What do you want? You're holding up the game.
I want him. You're under arrest, Mace, for the murder of Will Hutch, deputy sheriff at Tombstone.
Get up slowly, Mace.
Durango, Colorado, June 23, 1882. The patrons of the Royal Flush were amazed that Doc Holliday was still alive.
If I were you, I'd get out before he comes to. Doc doesn't like any interference with his business.
Yeah, well, I'm interfering. Easy. Easy.
They got away, didn't they?
Yeah, but you did all right.
All right. This was a present to me when I graduated from dental college in Baltimore. He broke up my game, broke my flask, and tried to kill me. Mr. Mace has trouble coming. I'll take care of Mr. Mace.
get away?
They're deep in the Red Rock country by now.
Where's that?
Southwest of us. It's a haven for a man on the run.
Pretty rugged?
Bad as it comes. Gorges, mountains, draws, ravines. You can't track a man. And you can't see him 10 yards away from him if he doesn't want you to. Looks like you're going to have to wait till he comes out, Sheriff.
Go through this again? No, thank you, Marshal. I'll take the rugged country. Thanks for your help.
June 24, 1882. The Red Rock country of Colorado.
I'm not better yet?
Well, he's coming along.
We might as well ride together, huh?
Break up the monotony.
Oh, I have another reason. You're better at tracking than I am.
By the way, my name's Clay Hollister.
Never heard of you.
The afternoon of June 24.
Those tracks aren't over a day old.
You tell how many riders?
Not for sure. More than 2 and less than 5.
That fits. Is your arm bothering you?
Yeah, I guess it's a sling.
Let it be. I'll take a look at it when we make camp. Who tied that?
Marshal.
He's a slob. Well, no wonder you were in pain. The circulation was just about cut off. You're lucky you haven't had gangrene already. Got any more bandage?
Yeah, saddlebag. Dentist, huh? Where'd you ever practice?
In Georgia.
Why'd you come out west?
I have consumption, mister. Or haven't you heard?
I'm sorry.
I'll leave this loose for the night. You should be able to draw in no time.
Thanks. Anything you can take to relieve that?
Maybe a bullet someday.
Doc?
Yeah.
Where's his brother, Arnold? What did you ever kill him for?
I don't remember.
The morning of June 25, 1882.
Hey, you know something? You're right about that circulation. Don't need to sling anymore.
I'll send you my bill in the morning.
We found them. Looks like they found us. Cover me! Don't do it, Doc. They're trying to draw you out.
It works, doesn't it, Mace? You could have had it quick and easy. One clean hole. Now you're gonna have 100 little holes. I'm gonna pepper you to death. Come on out, Mace, and take it clean.
Carter, shotgun!
There's only one left, Mace.
I'm not so sure he's left. But I'm going to find out.
Hold on, wait a minute. He's mine, remember?
How's your arm, Sheriff?
I guess you could say it's all better.
Now, look, Sheriff, I'm grateful for your help. But I'm taking Mace.
He's my prisoner.
You can still make the first move. Sheriff, I want Mace. You're gonna have to draw.
Over a dead man?
All right, Sheriff, now you can have him.
Just another one for you to forget?
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, September 2, 1885. With the arrival of the morning stage, a series of events began that brought Clay Hollister to grips with a criminal type unknown to wild and woolly Tombstone.
Where can I get a carriage around here? There's a livery stable right down the street.
New arrivals acted with the assuredness of those who knew what they wanted and where they were going. A few miles from town, the second happening took place in this series of events.
Good afternoon, folks.
Hello, Aaron.
George Camden.
Aren't you glad to see us?
What do you want?
We want your ranch, Aaron.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
The late afternoon of September 2, 1885.
Clay? Aaron. Clay, I'd like you to meet Miss Patricia Camden.
Miss Camden?
And this is her brother, George. Clay Hollister.
What brings you to Tombstone, Mr. Camden?
Well, it's a business matter, Sheriff.
That's why we came to see you, Clay.
I understand you notarize a transfer of property.
Among other things?
Well, the courthouse is closed. I wonder if you'd take care of that for me.
You're selling the double T, Aaron?
That's right.
Well, it's taken you 2 years to put it on a paying basis.
So we made him an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, it says for valuable consideration.
Everything is in order, Clay. Will you put your seal on it?
Surely. You're not going to be leaving Tombstone, are you, Aaron?
Well, as a matter of fact, he isn't. He's staying on with my sister and me.
George and I aren't really capable of managing such a large ranch without help.
Thank you, Mr. Hollister.
It's been nice meeting you.
And you.
Well, there's something to be said for being a landowner. Of course, you know all about that, don't you?
If you're asking if I miss my home in Boston, the answer is yes. It was wonderful.
Well, you made your own choice. You've done pretty well these past years, Aaron. Since you ran off with all our money.
You'd have done the same thing to me if you'd had the chance.
And left you to serve 3 years in a filthy prison as I did? Well, that's all in the past.
And now what?
Well, it's taken quite a while to find you, Aaron. Too long, I suppose, for there to be any of that money left.
It's almost all gone now. Most of it right here in this ranch.
So now we start all over.
Not me, George.
You're still wanted in the state of Massachusetts, you know.
But I'm here in Arizona, and there's no extradition, George.
You know that. Hey, you came up with a winning hand, didn't you? Patient Aaron left with the money and his freedom. Well, those things won't do you any good 6 feet under. Now, as I said before, we start all over. This forsaken place is just made for my talents.
Now, look, George, I've lived here almost 3 years. I know Clay Hollister. You can't get away with a thing.
You've played a pat hand quite a while, Aaron. But now I hold the winning hand. And as for your sheriff, he's a clod.
Don't underestimate Sheriff Hollister. He's no man's fool.
Well, if he's no man's fool, maybe he's a woman's.
Saturday afternoon, September 5, 1885.
Mr. Hollister!
Hello.
Oh, good afternoon.
How are things out of the double T, Miss Camden?
A little more settled now, thank you. We'd like if you would come out and see what we've done to the ranch.
Oh, I'd like that.
How about tomorrow? An early Sunday dinner?
Thank you very much.
You'll come then? 2 o'clock.
I think I can make it. Tombstone kind of tames down on Sunday.
Well, we'll see you then. Bye.
Aaron, I bet that was the best meal ever served at this ranch.
Why, thank you.
Certainly the best I ever had in Tombstone. And the prettiest cook. How do you like ranching, Mr. Camden?
Well, frankly, it's much more of a job than I thought.
Oh?
He's working harder at this than anything else he's ever attempted.
Matter of fact, Aaron and I have some work to do this afternoon.
On Sunday?
Well, I'm sorry, dear. I know Mr. Hollister understands. You can entertain him. Excuse me.
Won't you sit down, please?
Thank you.
Have you ever been in Boston?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, you'd like it there. It's full of history.
Well, we're still making ours.
I never thought of it that way. Oh, here's a picture of the Boston Common. I was brought up in Boston.
A quiet Sunday afternoon in Tombstone.
When Mother died, there wasn't much left for us in Boston.
Well, what made you decide on Tombstone?
George's idea. He'd looked at some ranches in West Texas and decided he liked this part of the country better.
I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will now. But isn't it dangerous being a sheriff?
Sometime.
How many men have you killed?
How did we get on this subject?
You're right.
Well, now that's finished. I hope you weren't too bored, Mr. Hollister.
Hardly.
Could I get some refreshments?
Not for me, thanks. I have to see if the town's still there. Excuse me. Thanks again.
You're always welcome.
Miss Camden, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Did you enjoy yourself, my dear? Evidently, Mr. Hollister did.
This was your idea, George.
Monday morning, September 7. Sheriff Hollister was summoned to the Bank of Tombstone.
You the only one that knows the combination to the safe?
Why, yes.
Is there anybody that you suspect? Any of your clerks?
None of them, I'm sure. I've been robbed 6 times in the past, at gunpoint. Never had it done this way.
Yeah, it is kind of slick for Tombstone. Oh, hello, Harris. Make quite a story for you.
How'd they get it open? Somebody must have known a lot about safes. Figured the combination.
A safe cracker.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Well, Tombstone attracts all kinds of people.
Yeah, Tombstone does.
Do you think Racklin could have done it?
Ah, it's too obvious. Besides, why would he wait till Sunday? He's got access to it all week long.
Well, you check on everybody that comes into Tombstone. Do you think some trail hand could have opened that safe?
No, this was done by a professional.
Well, then it must have been someone outside of Tombstone.
Camden. Oh, well, he was working on the books.
You were with him?
Yeah. But they left me alone with Patricia most all afternoon, so they had work to do.
Well, Aaron used to run that ranch by himself. Why all of a sudden is there so much work to be done on a Sunday?
Where does that leave Patricia? You don't suspect her, do you?
Do you? What are you going to do, Clay?
Hello. Clay, I just came from the bank. George and I had money there.
So had a lot of other people.
I understand it happened while you were with us out at the ranch. I'm sorry.
Are you?
Is there anything you can do?
Yes, there is. I'll let you know.
Well, if there's anything we can do. I'm truly sorry, Clay. The way he looked at me, I'm sure he knows something.
Well, that's impossible. What'd he say?
It's not what he said, it's the way that he acted.
Could it be that there's a hidden rapport between you and the sheriff? Well, even if he thinks he knows, what proof has he?
I still think you made a mistake coming here. Before Hollister closes in, there's still time for you to...
I told you what I thought of your bumpkin sheriff.
You're so smug, so sure of yourself.
There was a time when you were as confident in my judgment.
Why don't you just leave? Take the money and leave. Hollister doesn't give up.
Well, if he doesn't give up, it wouldn't do me much good to run, would it? And if he suspects me, it doesn't leave me much choice, does it? Getting rid of him will give me great pleasure. Great pleasure.
George, take the money and leave, but please don't kill him.
He won't kill Hollister.
The night of September 7, 1885. George Camden rode for Tombstone. He wasn't alone.
Drop your gun, George. This is your last hand. It's me, Clay Aaron. Don't shoot. Sit down and start from the beginning. It's the first time I ever shot a man, Clay.
Was Patricia in on this?
No, she wasn't. When George told us what he'd done, we tried to make him return the money.
You didn't know anything about it when it happened?
No. I was working on the books. George said he was going into town. Something about a meeting with a cattle buyer.
Why didn't you say something about it that night?
I didn't think anything about it at the time.
Why did George try to kill me?
He thought you knew he pulled the robbery. He said he was going to leave town, but first he was going to kill you to get you off his back. I couldn't let him kill you, Clay.
No. No, you couldn't, could you?
Patricia Camden waited at the Double T. Only one man returned.
Well, you still up, Patricia?
What happened? Where have you been?
I had a little talk with George.
Where is he?
He's dead.
Dead?
That's right.
You?
Seems I held a winning hand after all. You didn't think I'd let him take the Double T away from me, did you? Or leave him alive so he could blackmail me?
What about Clay?
I saved his life. To him, you and I have been the unwitting victims of your brother's greed. Well, the money's been returned. It's all over now. Where are you going?
I really don't know, but I'm getting away from here.
You're staying. Just for appearance's sake. When I decide different, then will be the time you go.
Aaron's story just doesn't ring true, Harris. Why didn't he just hold George? Take his gun and hold him until I got there.
Well, you're going to have a hard time convincing folks that Aaron is anything but a hero. He saved your life, and he recovered the money of a lot of people. September 14, 1885. Patricia Camden was seen in Tombstone for the first time since the funeral.
Afternoon.
Clay,
Sorry I couldn't be with you at the cemetery.
it would have seemed a little strange. After all, my brother did try to kill you.
Are you planning on staying on?
For a while. There's no place to go.
What about your family?
There is no family. Not after this.
I'm glad you're staying on. I'd like to know more about you, what you are.
What I am? What am I? I really wish I knew.
Aaron, thanks to you, we still got a good sheriff in Tombstone.
I just did what any man would have done.
Modest, ain't he, Sheriff?
Means you really are a hero, Aaron.
You deserve a reward. But there wasn't any offered in town, so I wired Boston. It's where George came from. I thought he might have a past. Boston police are checking on it. I should know in the morning.
The afternoon of September 14.
Mr. McLean! What time is your friend coming by?
You say the stage leaves at 9:30 tonight?
Yes, sir, 9:30 sharp.
He'll be here just a few minutes before. And don't you forget, you save a seat for him.
Don't you worry.
The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Clay Hollister confirmed his suspicions at the stage depot, while Aaron McLean was being toasted at the Arcade Saloon.
Drink to Aaron with me. Here's the elect.
Just in time, Sheriff.
No thanks.
We're drinking to Aaron.
I said no thanks.
Sheriff never drinks when he's on duty. Isn't that right, Clay?
That's right, Aaron.
Boys, a toast to the man who saved our money and the sheriff.
That's a fine group of men.
Yeah.
Oh, Clay, I was going to drop by and see you later at the office.
What about, Aaron?
Well, it's Patricia. Well, I was hoping you might stop by tonight and maybe have a little talk with her.
Well, I guess I could.
Oh, fine. That'll do her a lot of good. Say about 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
You hear anything from Boston?
Oh, tomorrow. You'll be the first to know.
8:30 p.m., September 14.
You startled me.
That's a bad sign, Aaron. Nerves.
Really? Why should I be nervous?
Aaron, many things you are, but a clever murderer you're not.
I'll show you how clever I am. I asked Clay Hollister out here tonight. You're going to entertain him while I leave on the night stage.
Aaron, do you realize how ridiculous you sound? You're talking just like George. Why, you're even copying the way he tricked the sheriff.
You shut up.
Don't worry. I won't say anything. You have my word. You'll slip somewhere. He'll get you.
It's him. It's Clay Hollister.
Hello, Patricia. Aaron. I hope you don't mind my coming early. Aaron said 9 o'clock.
Not at all.
Good. Things are kind of quiet around town.
Oh, glad to see you, Clay. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, don't go. I'm sorry that I hadn't seen much of you lately, but Aaron said that...
I haven't felt much like seeing people.
Yes, he said that you'd been a bit upset. He feels kind of natural guilt.
Well, he did what he had to do.
How about a drink, Clay?
Oh, not for me, thank you, Aaron. No, I just had an early supper. Sit down, relax. By the way, Aaron, Charlie down at the stage depot asked me to tell you something. There's been some mix-up. There won't be a seat for your friend on tonight's stage, after all. Come on out, Aaron.
You leave me alone, Hollister. I'll shoot.
I said come out.
You knew all along. That's why you came early tonight. You knew I was leaving on that stage.
That's right.
You'll never take me. I'll win the last hand. I always do.
Not this one, you won't. Now come on out or I'll start shooting.
I saved your life, Clay. If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead.
Well, thanks. But I'm not the jury, and I'm taking you in. Now, you going feet first? Let's go.
And what about the charges still pending against Aaron in Massachusetts?
They won't matter much if he's hanged in Arizona.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Clay. Bye, Miss Camden.
Clay, what's going to happen to me?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the jury.
Things could have been so different. I'm sorry, Clay.
So am I.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone